Before we end off the show, we are going to do a panic meter for this week as we get close to the playoffs. This is kind of the point of the season where it's kind of make it or break it time. You're running out of weeks left to get the wins to get yourself in the playoffs. So we will go over some teams here and see who should be worried and concerned, who's chilling. The panic meter tiers this week, we are doing a little different style than in the past. So in the top tier, we have the 2007 almost perfect Patriots. Now, you could take that a couple ways. Either they have a perfect team, but maybe they just don't win the championship final game, or they're perfect and are going to make that final game, and then who knows what happens. Second tier, we have the odds to make the fantasy playoffs. If you're 6-2, 7-1, or 8-0, you got over a 90% chance to make the playoffs. So that's the second tier. Third tier, we have I can't wait to go to war next week. J.J. McCarthy's comments, who he will be playing, obviously. Now you can take that as you're really excited for your team moving forward because maybe you think you're just going to go and win a bunch of games and go to war. Or J.J. McCarthy's saying that, and he could be ass. Next tier, we have playoff-bound Penn State shirts. Now, if you know anything about
okay.
Penn State this year,
Yes,
they're
sir.
not
That's
playoff bound, but they have
Yes,
playoff
sir.
bound shirts. So you can read that into maybe a team thinks they're going to make the playoffs, but they
Lol.
actually aren't going to make the playoffs. Then the next tier, we have Cheese, who makes the comment. Bad things always happen to me. I've been incredibly unlucky so far this season. If there are side effects to a vaccine, I'm sure I would be the unlucky person to get them. As we all know, Cheese has proclaimed many times he is unlucky this season. So is somebody just claiming that constantly? You could put them in that tier. Then for second to bottom tier, we have Cam Stadbo's broken ankle on the field. Rest in peace. And then the final bottom tier, we have Welcome to Cancun with Big Poppy welcoming you to the beach of Cancun. All right, so first team up for the
This is
panic
easy.
meter. What?
I said this is pretty easy. I know
Okay.
where to put myself if
We
I'm under.
have first team up. We have Tyler at 5 and
Tyler.
3. We were just talking about him. Somebody made a comment that this is the downfall of Tyler potentially. I don't think it's the downfall of Tyler. I do think he will be battling for one of those playoff spots.
Thanks.
So I'm going to put him in the war category
Oh,
because I think he's going to be battling all the way to the end. I do think he might get in, but he does have kind of a lower points for compared to others. So he's going to really have to battle and go to war
Oh.
each week to try to scratch out wins, including this week, which he has a tough matchup against Zombie. But he's going to just have to battle and try to win. So I'm going to put him
I
in.
know where I would put
All
him.
right, go ahead, Zach.
Right there, playoff bound in the Penn
Wow.
State shirt.
So you think he's thinking about playoffs, but he actually might miss, huh?
It could go either way with him.
Okay.
Even though Penn State, we know which way it's
Yeah,
going.
we know
They have
which
no
way.
chance at playoffs, but he's in the playoff hunt right now in our fantasy league, but could drop out.
Okay. All right. Cheese.
It's a downfall. Put him at the.
What the fuck?
Downfall.
Is that Cam Scadaboo?
Yep, that's Cam
Cam
Scadaboo's
Scadaboo. Started out hot,
Wow.
and it's over.
Ooh, wow, man. Okay.
Also,
I
I'm
do
only
get the
saying that
comparison. Huh?
because he clearly is not being active this year and is looking to get replaced by Julian.
Whoa.
Oh.
We're many years out from that discussion. Many years out.
You know, let's bring Hunter back. He was more active than this.
Many years out. All right, Rat.
I'm gonna put him in the JJ McCarthy, ready to go to war.
Okay, you're agreeing.
Teams
with
like
me.
the Vikings, you go there every week. You hope you come out with a Puka Nakua show and a Keenan Allen, Travis Kelsey to get that one win. But will it really happen? So he's just ready to go to war. Hopefully he can pull out his 2 wins, and we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, he's got to battle these next few weeks. All right, moving on then to the next team in this week's Panic Meter. We have Cheese at 6-2, looking very strong, decent points for. Although we have some people that have called him extremely lucky this season, but his team does get disrespected. I am gonna put Cheese in. The odds to make fantasy playoffs are very high, over 90%. Obviously, not only because he is 6-2, and according to this, he has a 92.5% chance to make the playoffs, but I do think his team is a little underrated. I think it's better than what people think it is, and I think he will make the playoffs pretty easily. Now, winning it all, I'm not putting him in the Patriot category because I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I mean, I deserve to be in the 2007 Giants category. So.
Yeah, where you just get lucky and knock the upset off. Okay. All right, Rat.
I'm putting Cheese in his own category. Bad things always happen to me. I've been incredibly unlucky, but
I need we need
So you
an
think
updated
his
picture.
team is
My
going to
hair
get
is way
side
better
effects from a vaccine, huh? Down the
yes,
stretch.
it's been yeah.
Wow.
I think
he has
think
complained
this
a
is
lot
fake.
about how unlucky he is.
This shit's
then
fake,
gets
and there's
lucky.
going to be side effects at the end of the year that he stops crying and finally doesn't get gifted by the fantasy gods. Because all Cheese has to do at 1:30 in the afternoon is type in the chat, "GG, Rat, you won," and then he gets 80 points in the next half hour. That's what literally happened. Because that's all Cheese does.
You sound salty, but
anytime he plays somebody, he
Rat,
says,
I'm
"GG, golfer, you won," and
Rat, I'm ahead of you.
and then you see a booty 20-yard touchdown. Like, yeah, okay, GG, you won.
Cheese would be the type of guy that would bench Cortland Sutton this week and then go, "Man, I got so unlucky. Cortland Sutton got 20 points against Houston. I'm so unlucky."
No, I would be the type of guy to bench Sutton and then
you
Booty has
can't
50
tell me
points.
I'm wrong. Every time Cheese is down and he says GG, he comes back and takes the lead over everybody he plays.
Look, what we're learning is I'm an elite fab spender.
No, all you are is an elite fryer.
I think I'm one of the best fab spenders in the league.
Nope, you get gifted.
Why? Because you spent 115 on Woody Marks?
Well, didn't I also get Kyron? Rookie year Kyron? Like, come on now.
Buddy, we're talking about this season.
All right.
Okay, but Woody Marks has not been Kyron.
No, Woody Marks, but he's been good. He's been very usable.
All right, Zach, what category is Cheese in? He's the same record as you.
I don't even know. In between playoff bound and in between JJ McCarthy.
Really? Okay. So a little lower. Okay. So
yeah.
I think he still has to battle to get into the playoffs, huh?
He said
he probably thinks he already has playoffs. He said earlier
he
already has playoffs
I play
wrapped
poop
up.
again. I play poop again. I'll get my 7th win.
Okay, Rat plays poop this week, and it ain't a guaranteed win.
Yeah, but
nothing's guaranteed. We saw literally Slaps beat Fusa by 40.
I played Pook in like the last week.
We just saw Bill win.
Okay. Yeah,
and we're going to guaranteeing wins. Relax, Cheese. No.
All right, Cheese. Where are you putting yourself?
Let's hear the shit.
You said you didn't say Patriots, so where are you?
If we look at last year, if we look at last
year,
yeah, if we look at last year,
here we go.
If we look at the standings for last year, the 7th team in the playoffs was Slaps at 7-7.
Yeah.
Out by yourself.
And I think it's ridiculous to think I'm not going to get at least one more win this year.
All right. Well, I don't think anybody said you're missing the playoffs yet.
I'm putting myself in between odds of making the fantasy playoffs and the almost perfect.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. You heard it here first. Cheese said his team is almost
me
perfect.
all season.
I can't wait.
Look, I just need to get to the playoffs, and then McCaffrey drops a 35 bomb, and Josh Allen drops a 30 bomb, and we're mauling people.
Sutton drops 20 on your bench.
That's all it takes.
Because Booty's in.
Because Booty. Okay, wow.
That's what Rat's team is.
I thought you were going to put yourself in the playoff odds to make play. I didn't think you'd put it in between. Wow.
He said almost perfect. Wow. Holy shit.
I don't want to be the Patriots. I want to be the Giants. 2007 Giants.
Okay. All right, moving on to the third team. We have Slaps. I was hoping he was still going to be here for this. Slaps also at 6-2, but his points for is lower than the other 6-2 teams. Just last week, a lot of us were predicting he could be the one that falls out and goes on a downfall, and then he gets that big blowout win over Kroenke. So now where are we putting Slaps' team? I think I'm putting Slaps in the same boat as Cheese. Do I think the team has a chance to win it all? No, but you can't go against the numbers, and he's 6-2, and his odds are probably over 90% to make the playoffs. But I think that's kind of where he is. I could see him losing in the first round of the playoffs. Cheese.
Yeah, because he gets a free win this week though.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah.
the tier he's in. I agree with that. I don't see him as a favorite to win it all. I mean, I just think his flex is kind of weak.
Okay.
I mean, the quarterback upgrade really helps, I think, but I think uh, I think his flex is just too weak to sustain a champion. I mean, anything can happen, but
Okay.
I'm happy with this tier.
All right. Rat.
Put him in the odds for making the playoffs.
Okay.
We don't know the 7-2 odds if he won this week.
I'm sure it's
He
even
does have a.
higher.
I mean, it's a lock. It's a
Um,
lock,
I
Yeah,
will
basically.
it's
say,
basically 100% because 7 wins has got you in the
Well,
playoffs every
well,
year.
I
well.
will say, Slash's
Actually,
luck he would be the one to miss out on the. He would
if
be
we
the
look at
2% to
if we look at
not make the
2024,
playoffs.
Bill missed the playoffs at 7 and
No, you
7
did.
because his points for was so incredibly
And
low.
Slaps does have one of the lower points for compared to all the other.
It's in the middle of odds to make it the playoffs and JJ McCarthy battling
Okay.
because
Yeah,
obviously the schedule this week is good, but we'll see the
Bill
rest of
actually
it.
had the second lowest points for, so he didn't really deserve that playoff
We will
spot anyway
see.
last year. So kind of crazy.
All right. Zach.
You
Okay.
can put him in the J.J. McCarthy picture.
Okay. So he needs to keep battling, huh?
He's
I mean,
gonna
he
have
is
to
still
keep battling.
battling. He keeps in trying to improve his team. He just traded for Hurts back. So you can
That's
tell
the
he wasn't just
problem. He
happy
keeps
with his team.
trading.
True, true. Sometimes with slaps, that's not a good thing. Although the trade deadline is coming up, so it'll eventually be cut
Whoa,
off.
when's the deadline?
I believe it's after week 10, I think.
Oh my god.
I can actually check.
Don't quote me on it. It's either after week 10 or after week 11. It's one of those two. All right. Moving on then to the fourth team in this week's panic meter. We have Anth at 4-4. We did make some comments about Anth earlier. He kind of seems like the obvious choice right now. If somebody's gonna knock out of the playoffs that's in a current playoff spot, maybe he's the one. His points for is pretty decent though, and he does have quite a bit of lead over me, Bill, and Rat if they were tied on record. But I'm going to put Anth in the J.J. McCarthy. I don't think he's going to miss the playoffs. I'm not going to put him in the Penny State or worse. But he does need to keep battling. He can't just sit back and think he's got this on lock. His team does have a few holes. Kamara, his Downs isn't always great. Stevenson's hurt, banged up. So he does have to keep battling and try to get these wins. But he's got Mahomes, he's got Cook. So he's got some good players that should have good weeks to get him a couple more wins. But, if you go off the 7-7 mark, he's got to get 3 more wins, which is still quite a bit. So he needs to keep battling each week. So I'm going to put him there. Cheese. Cheese, hello?
Jeez.
All right, Rat?
I agree with you. It's like the same thing like Tyler. Does he really have that it factor on the team, and will he
Oh, I'm
be able
back.
to pull out every week?
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right, Cheese. Where are we putting him?
And middle. Put him to maybe playoff.
Wow, so you think he's in the playoffs right now, but is not actually going to make it?
It's not a lock, is what I'll say. It's not
Okay. All right.
like he definitely needs to start packing up some wins.
Yeah. Okay. Zach?
Yep, I agree with Cheese.
So Penny State. Okay.
Penny State. Yep.
All right. So he
He
could be
probably
the one
make
at
it
risk
six.
right now. He looks like the obvious choice.
Him
to
or
be at risk.
Tyler. Him or Tyler.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on to our fifth team. We have myself at 3-5, getting that big close win over Ernie last week to keep the season alive. Because if I would have lost that one in 2-6, I probably wouldn't have had any chance. So I keep the season alive. I was originally before this segment gonna put myself in the Penny State category because I don't actually think I'm gonna get in. But after what happened to Scary Terry, I'm gonna put myself in the cheese category because I'm gonna go on a rant now about how unlucky I have been with these wide receivers I trade for. Every season, the last 2 seasons, I've had an injury to a wide receiver, and then I had a couple losses, and then I tried to make a trade to improve my team to make a run to the playoffs, and then they instantly get hurt the very next week. So I have been so unlucky, and I'm putting myself in that category of cheese. Cheese.
I'll agree with you because you've been Your team's not like there's some teams that are really bad. Your team, I think if everybody was staying healthy, you would be in a lot better spot. So
Okay. I think on paper my team looks decent, and then they just don't perform or they get hurt. So
I
especially
also
these
Same with
clarify
me,
the
bud.
trade deadline is after week
Welcome to our
11.
lives, golfer.
week 11.
Week 11.
Okay. Thank you for that. So it'll be after the week 11 game, so that Tuesday or end of Monday night. All right, Rat.
I'm putting you in Cam Scatterbo.
Oh, so you think
The
his
injuries are
last
falling.
injury?
Yeah, we just can't. Injuries
Okay.
kill everybody. I think I see Mike Evans in the background there. I think I
Wow.
see Terry McLaurin running back.
Yeah.
So take a couple
They
weeks.
try to make these plays on the field and it just injures themselves. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Zach.
I was gonna say the same thing as Fake Rat.
Okay.
You
so
can
Cam
point the
Scatterbo.
arrow down a little bit more though.
Oh, closer to the
Cancun,
beach?
though. Yeah, but keep
Okay.
him in keep it in the Scatterbo range because you just can't seem to keep a lineup for consistent for a couple weeks.
You know,
No,
Cam
I have
Scatterbo
to
runs
keep
like
changing things. What?
Cam Scatterbo runs head first, but that leg looks really bad. I don't know how he. That poor leg. That looks
Lol.
so bad.
Yeah. Your dirty ass Eagles. Always
Tyron
injuring people.
Tracy got him. Don't you worry.
Always injuring people. All right. The next team, we have another 3-5 team, Fake Rat. Now his points for is worse than mine, so by quite a bit
For now.
as
For
well.
now.
By quite a bit, like
For
830
now.
points is very low.
Injuries, bud.
So I am gonna put Rat in the obviously it has to be the Penny State playoff bound because before the season started, he comes into the season high after, winning it all last year. He's got a ton of, expectations, just like Penny State had to start this season. Everybody penciled them into the playoffs, to the final championship game. And then all of a sudden, you lose a close game. Your CD Lamb gets hurt as a running back. You lose a couple games. And then, you go and play some shit teams and Northwestern and UCLA, and you lose everything. And now you picked up an injury with Nico last week, and I think you are, right now thinking you're gonna make this magical run and get into the playoffs when at the end of the day you're just Penny State and you're gonna miss the playoffs. All right, Cheese.
He's in Cancun.
Whoa! Cancun.
Go on.
The Rats
You always had last year.
Wow. Cancun.
Look,
Wow.
I'm going to Cancun after I win the
Rat's showing that last year was a fluke. He's not consistent.
Whoa.
Manager like I am or
Oh
Zombie.
my God.
Now
Showing
those
that
are
last
some
year.
very harsh words. Jeez, wow.
Strong words.
I mean, yeah, look
Wow.
at the words from Cheese in the panic meter. What does it say? Bad.
Bad things always happen.
Look, if Rat was a good manager and picked up my Woody Marks, he might have a couple more wins.
Woody Marks.
Okay.
He said Woody Marks.
Who will do
Look,
better
Rats-
this week, Tyrone Tracy or Woody Marks?
Or
Woody Marks.
Kendrick Booty. Or whatever his fucking name is.
Oh,
Look, I'm
Jay
gonna
Sean
say this: Rat's team's cooked. I'm sorry.
wow.
You might win a couple more matchups, but
I will say,
Whoa.
if he loses to Pook this week, which I know we
It's
all
over.
beyond
predicted,
If I lose to
he's
Pook, it's
definitely in Cancun if he loses to Pook this week. All right. Zach?
Fake Rats, Panic Meter, put him on the Scatterbo picture.
Okay. Similar to me.
You're gonna be back, but it's gonna be next year.
Okay. I like that.
I like that. I like that.
Okay. All right, Rat. Be interested
Now,
to see where
these
you
last couple weeks, I started at the Cam Scatterbo, all these injuries racked up.
Mhm.
But we're going to move ourselves. We're going to go slowly. We're going to go through Cam Scatterbo. He suffers the injury. We get new locker room guys. Tyron Tracy's back. And we're going to go to playoff band because we fired James Franklin. We're back.
Mm.
Penny State will make the playoffs somehow, some way.
Oh yeah,
They will see that James
that's
Franklin
like saying
was.
my Auburn will make the
Look,
playoffs.
This is what's going to happen in
He
a couple
thinks they're
weeks.
beating Ohio State this week.
We are. We're going to beat Ohio State. This is what's going to happen.
Mm.
They're going to find out James Franklin was illegally betting, and he that won't
Whoa.
count towards the school system, and we will be in the playoffs because we're beating Ohio State. That one win will
Okay.
get us back into the playoffs, and we're playoff bound.
Okay. All
But if
right.
I look to Pook, I'm going to Cancun, and me and Pook are going to
Okay.
whatever beach we want to.
All
So,
right. Well, I wish I could parlay a Pook fantasy win in my Ohio State
Wow.
betting because those are locks this week.
wow,
Yeah, Rat's cooked. He's
Okay.
so cooked.
wow.
All right, and then the final team on this
One
week's
team.
edition of the Panic Meter, Ernie at 2-6 after a crushing loss last week to me. Was it crushing enough where he's in Cancun, or is there some more hope? He does have a higher points for than a lot of the non-playoff teams. I believe he actually has the highest of the non-playoff teams, and he's not that far off from Tyler and Anth. So if he could get on a run and just try to get that record close to theirs, he has a chance. But the lineup this week is just god-awful. Could this be the nail in his coffin? I think last week me beating him in that close sent him preemptively to Cancun. So I'm going to put him in Cancun. I don't think he's got it in him. I don't want to say he doesn't care, but I don't think he has enough interest. He's got other things on his mind. So I don't think he's got enough in it. His team's not horrible, but this week especially is not the week to have all your players on bye that are good when you need wins. If he was like 3-5, if he beat me last week, then I'd say he's got a better chance to suffer a loss this week. But the fact that he lost last week and now has this lineup against a better opponent, I think he's in Cancun. Cheese.
Ernie is in Cancun, but he's also in the me tier because
Okay.
he's been getting Omega Cupped all year.
Yeah.
He's one of the better. He probably has a better team than Anth, but he just keeps losing these high scoring matchups, and then he's getting unlucky with the scheduling with the buys.
Okay.
So, I
Fair
mean, look at
enough.
his points for. He has he's close to 1,000 points for, and he's down there with the shitters. So
Yep. That's
he's
probably though the points for is probably what keeps him out of last place if he does keep losing.
I mean, he's not last place. I mean, Ernie is one of the few teams down there at the bottom where I could see him going on a run after this week, but I just think this
Too little,
week
too
fucks
late.
him. He needed to win last week.
Yeah. He's got to try to figure out a way to win this week, which doesn't look good.
I mean, if he loses this week, he'll be 2-7. Yeah, he would have to run the
Yeah,
table
and if
basically.
Pook beats Rat, they would both be 2-7. So then
I
it
definitely
becomes a
don't
battle
think.
for last.
I don't think he's getting last. I don't. His team's too good to get last.
Okay.
But
There you
I mean, in Ernie, I'll say this: Ernie's been on the waivers. He's always picking up people every week, spending the fab.
Yeah.
He
He's
so
on
he
waivers, but he's not really done. He hasn't done any trades really.
offers a trade in JV to process. Or put a pull up for.
Wait, there's a trade
Um,
in JV.
yeah, Ernie's getting cucked this year. Unfortunately, he deserved a little bit better than what his team is.
Okay. All right. Rat.
Ernie, if I lose to Pook this week, we are booking our hotel for Cancun because we're going to Cancun.
Going together. That's nice.
Yeah, gonna hang out, and Pook's invited too, because
Pook's already there waiting.
yeah, Pook,
Yeah. I had Pook in this panic meter segment, but after the conversation earlier, I threw him out because I didn't like he's
Wait,
already
let's see the
in
graphic. Let's see the
already in
graphic.
Cancun.
we should check Pook's team. Actually, you know what? We could end on this little segment.
I
We
see
can
that
check
graphic down there.
No, it's not him. That's an old one.
Pook's schedule the rest of the year and see how he makes the playoffs.
He's not. He's not. He can win this week.
I just saw next week he plays golfer.
Then he plays golf, or
He doesn't have anybody to. Jesus Christ!
wait.
Brees Hall.
Oh,
please.
he's on bye Mageddon next week. It's over. It's over.
Wait,
Why
against
is
me,
Brees
he's
Hall
on
back?
Mageddon?
No, he has
Dak's
Brees
on a
Hall
bye.
back.
Dak's on a bye. Kareem Hunt's on a bye.
We're back next week.
Ioman, whatever his name is on Titans, is on a bye.
Nice.
Brees Hall is back.
I don't
though.
think Omni Moore's on a buy is
Yeah, I
affecting
don't
you.
think that's really a buy issue.
Well, he has no QB.
Could be on his
Well,
bench
no.
anyways.
He doesn't have a QB.
I don't understand this trade from Slaps JV. Anyways. All right. Who did I miss here? Zach.
We lost Zach.
Yep. Ernie will be
We
in the JJ
let me
category.
move him. Yeah, I was gonna say let me move him up because God knows you won't say he's in Cancun.
No, not Cancun, not yet. I mean, it's still a lot to play for. It's a long season. He's just
Okay.
not done yet. He's
Okay.
just like JJ right there.
Okay.
Can't wait to fight.
Okay. Now Ernie has one thing for him. He has the better quarterback than JJ, Drake May. That's the only highlight of Ernie's team, really. And Quentin Johnson for the first 5 weeks of the
Yep.
season. And
Yep.
not anymore, though. All right, so there is this week's Pan Meter. Good luck to everybody in the Week 9 matchups.